If you're looking at the Treasure Valley right now and Meridian feels too expensive and Eagle just feels out of reach, you've probably found yourself staring at two names on the map, Kuna and Star. And here's what I know you're probably thinking. You're thinking one of them is a smart buy and one of them is a compromise. So I want to answer the question, which one is actually right for you in 2026? Now here's what most people get half right. They see that both cities grew by more than 10% from 2025 to 2026. They see the new construction, they see the lower price tags, and they assume both are basically the same bet. And I get why you would think that, but the truth is Kuna and Star are growing in completely different directions for completely different buyers, and picking the wrong one for your lifestyle can cost you more than money. So if we haven't met yet, I'm Brent Hansen with the City of Trees real estate team, and we have helped thousands of people in the Treasure Valley figure out exactly where they belong in this market. And I've watched both of these towns transform in real time. Now stick around because I'm going to walk you through 4 key dimensions that separate Kuna and Star. And number 3 is the most buyers completely miss until they're already locked in on a lot. So first, let's validate what you already know. Yes, both Kuna and Star are legitimately affordable compared to the rest of the Treasure Valley. And that is not spin, it's the truth. Kuna right now is sitting right around $471,000 median home price, and Star is tracking around $510 to $530, depending on the builder and the subdivision. Now compare that to Meridian at roughly $594,000 or Eagle hovering close to $600,000 to $700,000, and you can see why both of these towns are attracting real buyer attention. And the growth numbers, they back it up. Both Star and Kuna ranked among the fastest growing cities in the entire US in the most recent population estimates. That is not small town nostalgia growth. That is investment grade growth. The price advantage is real, the growth is real, but here's where the discussion gets more interesting. Both cities are growing, but the type of growth, the direction, and what that means for your daily life is where they start to diverge. So if you're trying to figure out which one gives you the best lifestyle fit for your budget, just shoot me a text. I'll run your specific situation and pull current listings in both markets right now. Now, the first dimension most people skip entirely is the direction each city is actually growing towards. Let's talk about Star first, because Star is growing toward Eagle and toward the Highway 16 corridor, and that matters more than most people realize. Picture your morning. You close on a new home in Star, maybe in a subdivision off of Floating Feather or near the newly extended Beacon Light Road. Your commute to Eagle takes about 12 minutes, while your commute east all the way to downtown Boise on a good day is around 35 minutes, give or take, depending on the Shinden light cycles. Now, what you get in Star right now is one of the last places in the Treasure Valley where you can still buy a half-acre lot with a brand new home in the 500s. I'm talking about actual square footage, a real backyard, room for your kids, and your outdoor stuff without being squeezed into a 0 lot line situation. Now that is genuinely hard to find in 2026 in this valley and a lot of other metros like it. Now the trade-off is that Star's amenities are still catching up to its growth. There is a downtown area, it's charming, a few local restaurants, and a solid community feel, but if you need walkability, a Target within 5 minutes, or developed retail corridor, Star is not going to check those boxes today. Now, it might in 5 years. Right now, you are early if you're buying in Star. The buyer who is right for Star has 2 things in common. They want land, and they are either working remotely or they've mentally accepted the commute. I had a couple from Portland last spring who came in specifically because they wanted space and privacy, and they never lived somewhere they could have both for under $600,000. Star ended up being the answer on the first tour. Now, Kuna, it looks similar on paper, but the lifestyle it delivers is actually a different proposition entirely. Kuna is a different story. Kuna is growing at the south end, and that geography shapes everything about the lifestyle there. Imagine your Saturday morning in Kuna. You drive 10 minutes to the Birds of Prey National Conservation Area. You're hiking through a canyon that most people outside of Idaho don't even know exists. You come home, grab coffee, and your neighborhood still feels like a town that has its own identity instead of just being an extension of Meridian. Now, that matters to a specific type of buyer. Kuna has a small town authenticity that Star has partly traded away for its proximity to the Eagle corridor. Now, the people who love Kuna love it because it still feels like Kuna, not like a subdivision with a different zip code. Now, commute-wise, Kuna to downtown Boise is about 25 to 30 minutes on a normal day. Highway 69 is the main artery and it is serviceable. If you are working at Micron or in the South Boise Tech corridor, Kuna is actually a smarter commute than most people assume. The catch with Kuna is that the school district has been under more scrutiny than Kuna residents would like. The Kuna School District is growing as fast as the city, and capital funding has not always kept pace. Now, if you have kids in middle or high school and that ranking actually matters to you, that is a real factor to weigh. Now, before we get to the part that most buyers overlook entirely, if this is starting to sound like your situation, just shoot me a quick text. I'll send you 3 neighborhoods in each city that are holding the best resale comps right now. And before I tell you that part though, real quick, the City of Trees team has helped thousands of buyers find the right fit in the valley. And a lot of them came to us because they'd watched someone else buy in the wrong location for the wrong reasons and overpay for the trouble. So if you want that kind of context that saves you from that, hit subscribe right now. This is the kind of stuff that makes the difference. All right, here is what nobody is putting in the brochure. Both Kuna and Star have a version of the same exact problem in 2026, and it's infrastructure lag. The homes are built, the people are moving in, and the services, roads, retail, and schools are running about 3 years behind the growth curve. In Star, the biggest current pain point is Highway 16 extension. The full extension that would connect Star more directly to the Boise Metro is still in phases, and the timeline has slipped. Now, if you're buying in Far West Star expecting that commute to get meaningfully better in the next 24 months, you need to verify the current ACHD timeline before you sign, not after. Now in Kuna, the infrastructure story is the Highway 69 widening. It has improved, but peak morning traffic on 69 can back up enough that a 25-minute drive becomes 40 minutes really quick. And if you hit it wrong, it might even be an hour. Now, 2 specific subdivisions near the Hubbard Road interchange have the worst exposure to that timing issue. That is the kind of thing I know because I have walked buyers through it, not because it shows up on a real estate listing, but because I know it and I've been there. Now, here's the 4th dimension that separates the two. Lot sizes. In Star, you can still get lots at a 1/4 acre to 1/2 acre in newer subdivisions, and some are pushing beyond that. In Kuna, the new high-growth subdivisions have been trending towards smaller lot configurations, which means Kuna in 2026 looks more like early Meridian than it did 3 years ago. So if lot size is your primary driver, Kuna is trending in the wrong direction, and Star is still your answer. Now, if lot size doesn't matter much and community character does, Kuna wins in that dimension. Now, for anybody thinking that this is getting into the weeds, I totally get it. Here's what this actually means for you. The right city comes down to one question you need to ask yourself before you look at a single floor plan. Here is where I would be straight with you. Both these cities have a real risk that no amount of research fully prepares you for, and that is the first generation subdivision experience. When you are one of the first 200 families into a new phase of a development in Kuna or Star, you are living on a construction site for somewhere between 6 to 18 months. The roads get dirty, the sound is real, the model home that sold you on the neighborhood now has 18 months of drywall dust all over it. Now, I'm not saying that's a deal breaker. I'm saying it is the honest reality of buying early in a growth market. The upside is that you are capturing all the appreciation. The downside is that you are living through a construction zone. So make sure you have both eyes open on that trade. So here's the question I promise you. Before you tour a single home in either city, ask yourself this: are you buying a house or are you buying a lifestyle? If the answer is lifestyle, that means community, character, walkability, a sense of place, kids riding bikes to the park, a downtown you actually use. Kuna probably wins your priorities right now. Now, if the answer is space, land, the ability to park a trailer, have a backyard, build the detached shop, and have room to grow, Star is where it is available in the Treasure Valley in 2026 without a $1 million price tag. Now, either way, if you want the full breakdown, every part I'd give a friend making a decision, just shoot me a text. I have walked buyers through both cities more times than I can count, and I've seen which ones they regret and which ones that never look back. And of course, I want you to be in the second category, the one that's not regretting the decision. And again, I'm Brent Hansen with the City of Trees Real Estate Team. And before you click off, go check out my video on the north end of Boise, because if either of these cities ends up not being quite what you pictured, that one might surprise you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.